Everything inside is a fumbling, mumbling look. Cannot coincide, so I'm stumbling, bumbling. Took way too many rides, and I'm thinking I'm sinking a hook. Thinking my drinking was good, sober but wishing I would. Maybe go outside, but I'll crumble and stumble again. Maybe I'll be.
Hello YouTube, it's YL the White Elephant coming back to you with another World of Warcraft video. In this video we're going to take a quick look at the pre-release talent trees that Blizzard has given us for the Hunter spec Survivalist. There will be the same 3 specs for Hunters that we're used to seeing: Beastmaster, Marksman, and Survivalist. And I will leave a video in the link below that you can go to if you'd like to see some more information on the other 2 specs. But as I primarily play Survivalist, that's what we're going to focus on in this video today. So we're going to go through the talent trees here and how you get points for the talent trees. And in Dragonflight, you're going to have class points that are given starting at level 10. So at level 10, you get access to the new talent tree and you'll be able to start spending points there. Your first point is going to be a class point, and you'll be able to pick one of these talents right here that you can see on your screen. And every other level after that, you will get either a class point for this tree or a specialist or specialty point for this tree, the survival tree in this case. When we take a look at Shadowlands at level 60, that means you're going to end up with 26 class talent points when this releases and 25 specialization talent points to spend when they eventually go live with this. Usually you might see changes like this go live a little bit before the expansion, so we might see just some of the tail ending of raiding in Shadowlands, possibly in the Season 4 here, showing some of these talent trees with 26 class points and 25 specialization points. When Dragonflight releases, we'll get up to level 70, and you'll end up with 61 talent points broken down with 31 class points and 30 specialization points. And here I'm going to look at the way I kind of expect to spend my points in Dragonflight once I get to level 70. We'll start out with Kill Command right here. You're going to be able to command your pet to deal enemy damage. This is a staple for survival hunters in the Shadowlands content and for Beastmaster hunters. And in Dragonflight, it shows as a free talent on the talent tree, so I expect it to continue to be a staple talent. Next off, we're going to have Kill Shot over here. You attempt to finish off a wounded target, usable at 20% health, deal huge amount of physical damage all at once. This is a big DPS skill. Then we have Improved Kill Shot. It improves Kill Shot's damage by 25%. We love any additional damage to that Kill Shot finisher. As a survival hunter, this is very good for PvE and for PvP. Next up, we have Natural Mending, which every 25 or 12 focus that you spend once you get to the 2nd rank will actually reduce your exhilaration cooldown by 1 second. So that'll be really good for some extra healing. And that's going to unlock Tranquilizing Shot for us, which removes 1 enrage and 1 magic effect from an enemy target. This can be very useful when in dungeons and raids to help mitigate damage when the mob enrages. And then we have, going up here, Trailblazer. This will be a movement speed increase by first 15 then 30% at the 2nd rank anytime you have not attacked for 3 seconds. It is a 2 rank talent. It's going to go ahead and unlock for us this counter shot that we need, but you could also use instead the post haste skill. If you're really into PvP, you might prefer post haste because it gives disengage the extra ability to remove movement impairing effects from your character, and that can be really super useful when you're in that PvP scenario. But because I'm lazy, I'm gonna probably pick Trailblazer just to test things out. I'll probably move over later in the expansion. Counter shot, which is super useful for specialization. Survivalist, we're actually going to get muzzle instead, turning that counter shot into a melee attack that allows us to interrupt spell casting and prevent further spells from that school from being cast for about 3 seconds. Then we're going to pick up 2 points here in Thick Hinds. That's going to just boost our pet's total health by 5 and then 10% at the 2nd rank. And then in the bottom tree here, we're going to see Tar Trap, which is going to give us a area of effect movement speed slowdown trap that's super useful for PvP and might have some utility applications in PvE depending on the scenario. We're also going to pick up misdirection on the tier 1. This allows us to throw all of our threat at the target. Super useful for some utility things with your pet, as well as allows us to take that time to throw some extra threat at our tank if we need to. Sometimes if someone's out DPSing the tank's threat generator, or if we just need to help out a little bit or keep that threat off ourselves. And then we'll be able to move into our tier 2, and in tier 2 we're going to pick up 3 points for mend pet. This is going to be essential to help open up this left side of the tree that you can see there. It's not maybe the most essential skill, but very useful utility to heal up your pet in situations for PvP or for PvE content, especially solo. Below that, you're going to pick up Scare Beast. It's just a 1 rank point that's going to allow you to fear beasts. Can be kind of useful for taming, but otherwise it's just an extra little utility that we'll be able to pick up and unlock the skills below. Over here we're going to have 2 points here for improved tranquilizing shot, which is going to give us just a little extra focus when we use tranquilizing shot and dispel something at either 5 or 10 focus in the 2 ranks. But that unlocks for us camouflage, which is a very important utility that we're going to use to go stealthy in PvP or in certain circumstances we might want to skip content PvE. Below that, we have a 3-point talent here for agile movement. That's going to be very important to quickly unlock so that we can get access to the talent points below, and that's going to increase our movement speed by 2, 4, and 6% once we get it to the 3 rank talent. And then moving on to our tier 3 abilities, we're going to have Beastmaster, which is just going to increase our pet damage by 3, 6, and 9% once we get the 3 rank talent. But more importantly, that's going to unlock for us over here improved kill command, which increases our kill command damage by 5 and then 10% at 2 ranks, and unlocks for us this talent, which is actually a selectable. Some of the talents here are selectable, and we're going to be able to pick Alpha Predator. The other option was Killer Instinct, but Alpha Predator here will give our kill command 2 charges and deal 30% increased damage, so that'll be very good for our rotation. And then coming over here under agile movement, we were able to unlock Serpent Sting to add a little poison to our rotation, and Barrage for an extra burst AoE damage to all enemies in front of us. This is something we wouldn't have had access to as a survival hunter before, but now we do. There are a couple of other options that I think are very viable looking ahead, especially for individuals that might be more interested in some of these trap boosts kind of in the middle of the tier here. I don't use my traps quite as often as some others might, so I steer away from these particular abilities for my first test, and I really wanted to get this Alpha Predator ability to give myself a second charge on kill command, but we'll see how that works. Moving on to the survival tree, we're going to start out with Raptor Strike, which is going to be at the top. It's our only option, and it's a staple focus dump for our big DPS in rotation, so we definitely are going to put our first point there. Then as a melee hunter, my next reach is going to be Harpoon. Allows us to throw a harpoon at the enemy target, and then it rips us to them. It's also just super cool looking and a very useful movement utility as a melee hunter. And then we're going to be able to pick up this 2-point improved Harpoon. Just reduces the cooldown of Harpoon by 5 and then 10 seconds at the 2 ranks. Very useful to use it more often, and it will unlock for us Tip of the Spear, which makes our kill command increase the damage of our next Raptor Strike, or in our case, we're going to change that up to Mongoose Bite. I think that will affect Mongoose Bite, but it doesn't actually specify that here on Wildhead, so we'll see how that works, by 8, 16, and then 25% at that 3 rank. And then moving over to the left side, we're going to pick up 2 points in Ferocity. All damage done by our pet will be increased by 5 and then 10%. It is a 2 rank talent. And then below that, 1 point into Wildfire Bomb, which is definitely a staple for us. It's going to be an AoE damage that damages our target and then does splash damage to the enemies around it with some additional damage over time after that. Moving down into our tier 2, we're going to have a selection ability here. This one we had Carve, which just does a sweeping AoE in front of you. It deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. And then Butchery, which has a maximum of 3 charges and does a AoE flurry of strikes in front of you, doing physical damage to each opponent, reduced damage beyond 5 targets. So I picked Butchery here because it gives us that 3 charges. We'll see how that interacts with some of the other abilities that boost Carve or boost from Carve and make sure it works with all of them. Otherwise I might have to switch that up. We're going to select Mongoose Bite, which replaces Raptor Strike. It does a brutal attack and it gives yourself Mongoose Fury. Mongoose Fury is going to then boost your own Mongoose Bite by 15% damage for the next 14 seconds, and that can stack 5 times. It is important to note that additional uses of this ability beyond that 5 stacking is not going to increase our duration any, so that means we're going to have to cycle through it. So you get to 5, it wears off, you're going to have to go back to 1 and get back up to 5 again. And then we're going to have Guerrilla Tactics. That just increases our wildfire bombs to 2 charges, very important for our rotation, and it also increases the initial explosion by 100% damage, so very, very good for the big DPS. Below that, we're going to choose Improved Wildfire Bombs, which just increases our wildfire bombs by 8, 16, then 25% at the 3rd rank, and will unlock additional talents below that we really want. Below that, we're going to pick Explosive Experts. It's a 3-rank talent. It makes our kill shot reduce our wildfire bombs duration by 2.5, 5, and then 7.5 seconds, and this one is a 3-rank talent. And then we have a 3-rank talent here for Sharp Edges. Critical damage dealt is increased by 2, 4, and then 6%. So this one here we're just picking up to unlock a couple of tier 3 abilities below it. And moving right into our tier 3, that unlocked for us Coordinated Assault. It makes our pets regular attack, their basic melee attack, add some bonuses to Carve and to Kill Shot. Kill Shot will now apply a Bleeding Gash, and Carve will reduce the cooldown of wildfire bombs by an additional 1 second. So that's a really useful one to use for those DPS bursts. And it also unlock Aspect of the Eagle for us. Very useful utility for movement. When you need to move away from melee range, you can pop this and still hit your Raptor Strike or Mongoose bite on your target. On the other side here, we'll have Wildfire Infusion. This one here is kind of a staple in my current rotation. It gives a little bit of an extra flair to your wildfire bombs that rotates through doing different things. They can stack with additional damage over time effects and do other utilities. So it'll be really interesting to see exactly what this does, or if it's exactly like the way it was in Shadowlands. And then here we have Deadly Duo, where when kill command's cooldown is reset, you'll have a 5, 10, or 15% at rank 3 chance to reset the cooldown of kill shot, and that next kill shot can now be used on any target regardless of that target's health. So this one I see being a big DPS skill. It's going to be something you'll try to work into your rotation as often as possible so that you can use that kill shot when it's above the 20% health. Fury of the Eagle, the last ability down here. You furiously strike all enemies in front of you, so it'll be an AoE, dealing physical damage over 4 seconds, and kill command's cooldown resetting will reduce the cooldown of Fury of the Eagle by 3 seconds. So there we have it. This is the look on what I will spend. Again, I am not necessarily an expert, but this is what I will be testing when Dragonflight launches, and my thoughts on what the abilities will do. There is also another possibility for the survivalist. If you wanted to get yourself 2 of the bottom 3 abilities here, you could go after this Bird of Prey as well. In order to do that, though, we do lose a few things that I just wasn't comfortable with losing, like Butchery, and then we're going to lose Flanking Strike. I think I forgot to mention Flanking Strike. Flanking Strike was one in the tier 2 that we picked up just to give us an extra leap forward. You leap forward with your pet, generates a little focus, and it's another movement utility. Sorry about that. But then you can come over here and you can remove Wildfire Infusion, and then we just need to take off 1 more point, convert our Mongoose Bite back to Raptor Strike, and you can pick up Bird of Prey. And so this would be another alternative option if you really wanted to focus on using that Aspect of the Eagle and your Raptor Strike. This would give you the ability for your Raptor Strike or Carve to extend the duration of your Coordinated Assault. Coordinated Assault here that boosts your Carve and your kill shot. So I suppose along with the Deadly Duo, this would also be a pretty viable option for us to test out and kind of see what that does to the DPS. Alright guys, until next time, remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and let me know in the comments below what kind of videos you would like to see next. Until next time, have a great one.